like a minute late. Pray that you guys had a great week on purpose. Uh, Beautiful weather out here in the Baltimore metro area. Definitely grateful. Uh, and like I always say, man, thank you for those who will check in, even if you check in for a little bit. So just giving a salute to people tuning in on Facebook. Salute to people who are tuning into my YouTube channel. Salute, salute. And salute to my brothers and sisters that may join in, even if it's momentarily, via TikTok. I appreciate you guys. Today, we're talking about emotional intelligence and relationships. But before we do, let's go over a couple of brief announcements. Um, so, as I stated on the Bible study on Sunday, and again, we here every Sunday from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are walking through the book of Hebrews verse by verse, and we are on Hebrews chapter 10, verse 5. So, there is no self-improvement without drawing nearer to Christ. So if you want to be a part of that study, you could join in. We're here every Sunday from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. But if you are locked in, you guys will know, because I mentioned this before, that I'm starting a nonprofit arm to my business. I have encountered a number of families with a number of youth who have pretty significant traumatic experiences in the public school settings. So this nonprofit arm that I'm about to establish will provide educational opportunities for those that are failing or those that are not on grade level that experience social anxiety disorders. All right. So I'm looking for some people that's going to help me to grow the business. So I'm looking for people specifically who is willing to be a part of the board, man. So I'm looking for a board legal advisor. I'm looking for a director of learning and development. I'm looking for a fundraiser and community partnerships director. I'm looking for an audit and compliance director. I'm looking for a finance director and a nonprofit advisor. All right. So if you or anybody you know is interested in this mission, going on this mission with me, so that our babies are no longer failing or behind grade level as a result of uh, any type of social anxiety disorder, then send me a direct message, man, and let's have a real conversation about uh, this transition and what it's going to look like. All right. So that's an important piece. So I just wanted to put that out there first. If we are not connected on YouTube, then you could connect with me on YouTube at my page, Darrell White. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. Let me share my screen. So this is what my YouTube page looks like. And again, if you hover over the QR code, it will give you access to my coaching calendar in the event that you're in need of coaching sessions. If you click this link here, give you access to all of my links: Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. So here you see all of the prior Bible studies and coach classes. Promote my No Funerals event. You'll see some videos on that. And when you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see my event page, which is the gallery that tells your story. All right. So yeah, let's connect. But most importantly, I want to connect with you as well. So make sure that we stay connected via Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Let's stay connected and let me know how I can support you guys as well. Also, just want to announce, I've been saying this in the past couple of weeks. Your boy is now a 4-time author. So my new book, Intersections, is out. This is a Christian fiction novel. This is a part of Aiden's journey. Here's what that looks like. So you can buy the hardback copy for $16.99, all 287 pages of it. You can check it out on Kindle for free, or you can purchase it on Kindle for $6.99. All right, so I think you guys are really gonna like this, man. I really like how the book cover turned out, where you have this street pole, and you have providence, redemption, reconciliation, and restoration. It's pretty dope, man. But yeah, check it out. I definitely would love to get you guys feedback if you pick up a copy of the book. All right. What else we have? Before I bring Brody up, just check on him. Playground challenges. So I put out a video on it was like a 3-minute video. I put it out on TikTok, Facebook, and IG, and it was buffering a little bit on my end. So if the video didn't come out clear, I apologize. But man, listen, we are having a ball with the playground challenges. So if your youth are 17 and under, and if you're in the Baltimore metro area, please send me a message. Especially, shout out to my single mothers who are looking for a break. I think this would give you a really good break. Send it with me to the playground challenge. We try to have it twice a month, trying to gain some traction here going into the summer. We try to have it twice a month at a playground near you, man, and we wear those youth out, man. They are tired when they're done. So, yeah, man, for more information, send me a DM. I'll send you guys the liability forms. And yeah, man, playground challenge. That's as the young people say, that's what's up. All right. So that's all the announcements that I have at the moment. So I'll close this tab here. Let me check in with Brody. I think he's in the building. Where are you, man? Let me. Here you are. All right, got you. Let me turn your volume up first. Turn your camera on. Let me widen this screen for you, brother. How you feeling, Chuck?
Bro. Good, bro. How you feel?
Man, all is well, man. As well as it could. Still smiling over here. Yeah, it's hot up here. I know it's hot down there in SC.
Yeah, it's a little toasty. It felt good, though.
Yeah.
It's a little toasty, though. It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
I know we ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Appreciate you checking in, man. We got a good one today, man. Let's go ahead and get into the quote of the day, so we can pick this thing apart. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen, and again, for those who are joining in on TikTok, unfortunately, you will not be able to see the presentation. But if you'd like to see the presentation, you can venture over to my YouTube channel. You can check it out there. All right, so here we go. This is a quote by John Mayer. He says, "The emotionally intelligent person is skilled in 4 areas: identifying emotions, using emotions, understanding emotions, and regulating emotions." Let me read that again. The emotionally intelligent person is skilled in 4 areas: identifying emotions, using emotions, understanding emotions, and regulating emotions. All right. I don't think I need to read that a 3rd time. I'm going to leave that right there. Let's go into the article of the day. This article is called Emotional Intelligence and Coping in Relationships. Emotional Intelligence and Coping in Relationships by Dr. David maybe the K is solid. Cullen. All right. This is a really, really good article. Let's break this down. I won't read over every particular detail of the article, but let's get into this. I'm going to scroll down here where it says why EQ, why emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, he says, is a tool that can help you navigate around relationship issues and is easy to learn about, although it can take a lifetime to master. Popularized by Goleman, EQ, or emotional intelligence, entails the management of 5 personal and social competencies. Here are the 5. Self-awareness, shout out to Coach Jamar. Self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. He says, by better understanding one's own and others' responses to social situations, a person can better read circumstances that may affect them personally or professionally. All right. So there's a section in this article where he talks about accepting your feelings. Fellow sufferers of OCD are often triggered by visual or situational conditions that bring their fears front and center. Part of exposure and response prevention therapy can include the use of metaphors and coping statements and control conditions to mitigate these fears. For example, a person who fears they may stab a loved one every time they see a knife in the kitchen may look at a series of photos of knives, which are the metaphors, and be mindful of the responses they each induce. That is, coping statements in which no stabbing occurs. I hope you're following this. Listen to this part. Over time, the person will notice their anxious feelings and obsessive thoughts will gradually reduce as they experience them for what they really are, not what they seem to be. Similarly, patients who practice mindfulness, again, shout out to Coach Jamar, and meditation have reported some success in changing their perceptions of situations that previously startled them or stimulated anxiety. So then he talks about having a buddy, right? Having a mental illness can at times seem like a spiritual darkness, a period of confusion in which it may be difficult to understand what is happening to you or your loved ones. Many have described such moments of searching, yearning, or grasping a dark night because we feel all alone. Often the reality is that we are surrounded by partners, family members, friends, colleagues, spiritual guides, or others who seek our rehabilitation and salvation. In this context, it makes sense to seek help from a buddy who is already with you, even if you have not been aware of it until now. And then he talks about, there's a section where he goes into, it's okay to get help. It's okay to get help. My wife and I, he says, have struggled together over several years to seek help for different reasons. As a couple, we felt alone, that no other couple was going through what we were. My wife, he says, sought resources for caregivers of OCD sufferers. At the time, there were few guides on the topic, so we wrote our book in 2021 to help others not feel alone. I still want to help other sufferers not feel alone, and so I continue to write these posts. Some tasks I've assigned myself over time to improve my emotional intelligence include focusing on my mindfulness and self-awareness by, number one, he mentions, or bullet number one, journaling about my behavioral responses to traumatic or distressing situations. Journaling, we can't emphasize this enough. I talk about it. Coach Jamar talks about it. It's so important. Journaling about my behavioral responses to traumatic or distressing situations. The second bullet he mentions, asking others what they really think about me. This is a hard one for most people. Because what you're asking people to do is to hold a mirror in front of you and tell you what you look like. In fact, you're asking people to be the mirror, to reflect how you look. This is a big one, but this is a profitable one as well. The third bullet says, setting aside regular time for introspection and contemplative prayer. If you hang around me long enough, especially in these coach classes, I talk a lot about introspection. Very important. The fourth bullet, he says, shifting my mindset by forcing myself, yes, he says forcing myself to think of alternative points of view. This is also a good one. Let me read it again. Shifting my mindset. How? By forcing myself to think of alternative points of view. Here's the next bullet. It's another big one. Forgiving myself. This is a struggle for people. Forgiving yourself. The next bullet says, starting a new hobby or job. Then he says, the next bullet, practicing meditation and mindfulness. And then here's another big one, active listening. This is another big one. Active listening. How about this one? Not interrupting others. Here's the next bullet. Realizing that failure is an opportunity to learn. And then another shout out to Coach Jamar. Here's the last bullet. Being grateful every day. I have a client right now. Shout out to him. Every day he dedicates himself to writing out a new gratitude list of things that he's grateful for at the end of each day. All right? So here's the conclusion. This was a short article. Emotional intelligence can naturally reinforce relationships through the acceptance of feelings, nurturing camaraderie, and encouragement to seek help. So the question to you is, how is your emotional intelligence? Are you emotionally intelligent? Are you emotionally intelligent? And let's go back to the bullets here. Let's do a little exploration, and then I'm going to bring Brody on so we can close out. And I want to say this again, like I never said it before, like I never read it a minute ago. Okay, to get help. And let me speak to my brothers, because we shun therapy. We shun coaching, and we shun seeking help sometimes from other men. And I'm talking about professionals. We'll go to our homeboys who are probably part of the reason why we still in the same circle and spiraling deep. Let me speak to my brothers right now. It is okay to get help. If you love yourself, let me rephrase that. If you don't get the help that you need, you don't really love yourself as much as you think you do. Getting the help you need is all about self-love. Journaling. Asking others what they really think about you. Shifting your mindset by forcing yourself to think of alternative points of view. Forgiving yourself. Those are the three big ones I would like to stick. Realizing that failure is an opportunity to learn. Let me grab a chalkboard real quick. I want to highlight journaling about my behavioral responses to traumatic or distressing events. Let me copy that. I'm going to stop sharing this real quick. And let me pull up the chalkboard. Here we go. I'm going to paste this on the chalkboard. Because I want to show you guys what this should look like. Let me center this a little bit. Let me break this down for you. Let me make it vertical. Journaling about my behavioral responses to what? Traumatic or distressing situations. Here's your homework. Number one, you haven't already. I want you to identify a traumatic or distressing situation. And I want you to identify something that you experienced more recently. Now, if you've been hanging around with Coach Jamar and I, you would know that whatever traumatic experience you had has roots in your foundation. So it's important to identify them, but it's equally important to go back to where it first happened. All right? For the sake of this exercise, we're not necessarily going to do that. In your journals, identify a traumatic or distressing situation. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to document how you respond or how you responded to the traumatic or distressing situation. I want you to be very intentional about this exercise. So number one, you're going to identify a traumatic or distressing situation in the present. Number two, you're going to document how you responded to the traumatic or distressing situation. Tell me about your behavior, your actions. Put that in parentheses. Or your let's say, reactions. And then, number 3, this is what you're going to do. Ready for this? After you identify the traumatic, because we're talking about emotional intelligence, right? And emotional intelligence involves awareness, self-awareness. You're going to identify the traumatic or distressing situation. You're going to document how you responded to the traumatic or distressing situation. And then you're going to document, because this is all emotional. This is based on emotion. Then I want you to document how you should be responding to that situation. How do you do that? Document how you should be responding to that situation. Or let's say, document, let me rephrase that. Document what a mature response should look like in the same situation. How's that? What's your homework? Let me bring it down a little bit. Oh, I always do that. Sorry. Brody, I'm going to bring you up in 1 second. I just wanted to make this assignment clear to the people joining in. So this is what you're going to do. One more time. You're journaling about your behavioral responses to traumatic or distressing situations. Number 1, you're going to identify a traumatic or distressing situation. Number 2, I hear it getting heated upstairs. You're going to document how you responded, your reactions, to the traumatic or distressing situation. And number 3, you're going to document what a mature response should look like. Why does that not show? Hold on 1 second. Document what a mature response should look like in the same situation, responding. Same situation. Hold on. Document what a. Let me say something. With an emotionally mature response should look like in the same situation. All right. That's your homework. All right. So it's some something going on in the household. So I'm going to stop sharing right now. Let me bring Brody up. Add you to the stream. All right. Hold on 1 second. What you think, Brody? Give us some wisdom, man. Before we get out of here.
I mean, you was talking about emotional intelligence. You said the lack of it is like again, the lack of self-love. So you can't love yourself. You can't, so I would say to my, like you were talking to the brothers, you have to take accountability for yourself.
Yeah.
Can't keep worrying about what women are doing and what they're not doing. That time is up. You need to take account for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So we can't go around and saying we love ourselves how we do if we not kind of move for ourselves in our actions of why we are where we at. So it's time to let the ego go and get the help you need.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, it's a choice.
Yeah.
So when you become aware of it, when you become conscious of it, it's still a choice. So get uncomfortable. I would say every day do something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Imagine what we can do if we just do the things we don't want to do.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
So everything is that and that. Everything we need to learn is and the things we don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
So you get that, it's like, all right.
Yeah.
You realize you grow. Nothing grows while it's comfortable. Everything grows when you gotta get a lot of uncomfortable.
Yes,
It's okay.
Yeah.
We're still here.
Dope. Love it, man. I love that expression. Appreciate the chant.
Yeah, bro.
All right, TikTok, we out of here, man. Facebook, we out. YouTube, we out. See you guys next week. Peace. Let me shut it down.